guys, this is Wayne Hooser again with BassBite.com. I'm here at the ICAST show. I'm at the Hummingbird booth. I'm here with Davie Hite. Davie has won a phenomenal amount of money bass fishing, and he's going to give us some information about how he'd be fishing at this time of the year, here in the middle of the summer. Davie, if you were on a lake that had a lot of hydrilla, milfoil, what would you be doing right now to catch some fish, man?
Well, you mentioned I've been able to win a little bit of money throughout the years, and probably my favorite way to fish a tournament, my technique that I've won more money than anything is flipping and pitching.
Okay.
So if I'm fishing a lake that has milfoil or hydrilla right now, this time of year in the summer like this, a lot of times it's real thick, it's matted up, it's thriving because the water's so warm and that sort of thing. So I'm going to get a flipping stick and I'm going to put a couple different jigs and crawls and that sort of thing, so stuff I can flip. And the big key is, having different weights, like a half-ounce jig all the way up to an ounce and a half jig, depending on how thick that vegetation is, and being able to get your bait to go through that vegetation and not just cover water. And I really try to focus on contour change, the outside edge or the inside edge, or maybe a little depression in that grass itself. And like I say, don't get frustrated because the grass gets thick. Just use heavier sinkers to be able to get your bait to go down in it. That's where those fish are going to live.
Okay. Now, what about on a lake like Murray, where it doesn't mat up as much? All right, what are you doing there in the summer?
If it's sparse grass, then I'm going to fish lighter baits. I love to fish a Cinco in the summertime, in the spring and summer, probably more than anything as far as soft plastic. And I'll put anywhere from a 1/16 to a quarter-ounce sinker on a Cinco and flip and pitch that around along with the jig. Just use lighter baits. It's going to get down to the bottom, and you don't have to use that ounce and a half or ounce and a quarter sinker to get your bait down there where those fish actually are. The key is they live in that. It's like us living in our house. When they get real aggressive and really hungry and wanting to feed, and they'll come out and they'll roam. But in the summertime, they do that primarily at home. Right. Unless you have a few cloudy days and they do that. Other than that, it's like they're inside in air conditioning where they feel comfortable. They're around that cover and they have shade and they feel protected, and they have ambush points along in that grass. So that's where they're going to be, and just adjust your baits to be able to get those baits down there where those fish are.
I got you. Now, what about a lake that doesn't have grass? What would you be doing there?
Well, that's a great question. Probably the number one thing we get asked is, how do you go fish a lake that you're not familiar with? Well, if I've got grass in the lake, that's where I'm going to go start trying to fish, is right there around that vegetation in that grass. If I don't have grass, then I'm going to look for the next best available cover. It might be boat docks. It might be brush piles. It might be this particular lake has standing timber. Your next best available cover. Largemouth bass they're very adaptable to their surroundings. And, if there's vegetation in the lake, that's where I'm going to go spend my time practicing and fishing. Focus all my time around that vegetation. If I don't have it there, then I'm going to look for the next best thing. Is it wood? Is it man-made structures like docks and bridges, that sort of thing? Look for some kind of cover for those fish to be around. So depending on the lake, if there's standing timber, then that's where I'm going to go. If there's a lot of boat docks and there doesn't seem to be any other kind of cover for those fish, and I'm going to target those boat docks.
Now, are you going to look for boat docks or standing timber near deep water, or does it matter? Could it be way back in the cove, or does it need to be out near the main lake?
It depends on time of year. Seasonal patterns is one thing you actually
We're talking about the
consider.
summer.
But in the summertime, I'm going to be closer to deep water. They might be shallow, but usually those fish are going to be closer to deep water. The only time I really fish flats and back in a lot of shallow water, and it's a long way, is usually around your spawn. When those fish are going into those kind of places to spawn on those flats. In the winter and in the summer, most of the time those fish are going to live close to deeper water. And that's all relative to deeper water. Some lakes deep might be considered 20 feet, like on Lake Murray, my home lake. There's other lakes that you can see the bottom in 20 feet. Deep is more like 50, 60 feet. So that's all relative.
I got you.
Use your electronics and ride around and look for fish. And a lot of people aren't real knowledgeable when it comes to their electronics. They see a lot of things on their units, but they don't know exactly what they are. You don't always have to know exactly what it is, but you look for those things. That stuff, it's bait, it's bluegill, it's crappie, it's shad, and look at the depth range that you're seeing those fish, and then start fishing in that depth range, because usually those bass are going to be somewhere around there. So if you're seeing a lot of stuff on your unit at 20 feet, then I'm going to start trying to fish around that 20-foot depth range.
I got you. Dave, that's some great tips for you guys out there. Until next time, and check out Hummingbird. They've got some good electronics, guys.